Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 Department of Public Safety Badge of Excellence Award Ceremony. It's great to be together with all of you, and thank you for your patience as we were waiting for some folks to get in here. Since 2015, this award has been bestowed upon the best and the brightest in our department. Nominated by their peers and selected by the Badge of Excellence Committee, each of the recipients we honor today have made an impact at DPS and on the people of North Carolina. Their teams, their divisions, and the department are better for their efforts. This year, we are proud to recognize 43 Badge of Excellence recipients in 6 different categories. The categories are customer service, human relations, innovation and efficiency, outstanding achievement and performance, public service and volunteerism, and safety and heroism. While each of these individuals we will recognize today serves in a unique capacity, all recipients share a commitment to making DPS the best it can be. They have shown this through their words and through their actions. Before we begin our program, please rise for the presentation of colors and the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Secretary Eddie Buffalo has been a lifelong public servant whose career has been shaped by the values we are here to celebrate today. He came to the North Carolina Department of Public Safety from Elizabeth City after serving as the city's Director of Public Safety and interim city manager. Before that time, he served as police chief of Elizabeth City for 9 years and chief of Enfield for 2 years. He also spent 12 years with the sheriff's offices in Northampton and Halifax counties. To offer remarks at this time, please welcome Department of Public Safety Secretary Eddie Buffalo.
Thank you, Sergeant Pathay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm extremely proud to be with you today as we honor the achievements of the Department of Public Safety staff and professionals. This select group of 43 dedicated professional individuals exemplifies the best of public service by consistently going the extra mile, and we say thank you. I would be remiss at this time if I did not say this is a bittersweet event, as it will be the last Badge of Excellence ceremony with our colleagues from Adult Correction and Community Corrections. You've noticed that several of the recipients are from Adult Corrections and Community Corrections, and these employees provide a strong, positive, dedicated, supportive foundation for the welfare and safety and care, custody, and control of offenders within our 54 facilities across all of North Carolina. And you will be a great, strong partner as a new agency as you transition in the next 33 days. During the program, you will hear extraordinary stories of customer service, innovation, efficiency, outstanding achievement, performance, public service, and volunteerism, as well as safety and heroic acts. These selfless acts invigorate my passion and my support and my dedication as a public service. I am extremely proud to be part of a team of dedicated individuals of over some 26,000 employees and 13,000 Air and National Guardsmen. So congratulations. Thank you for the commitment in providing public safety to 10.5 million people in North Carolina. And thank you for what you do in our communities and this state every day.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Before we get started, just a brief overview of our order of operations. As we call out each category, we ask that award recipients come to the right side of the stage and be ready to step up when their name is called. Ryan Guthrie, our official DPS photographer, will take photos of each award recipient with Secretary Buffalo, Chief Deputy Secretary Cassandra Skinner-Hoekstra, Chief of Staff Jane Ammons-Gilchrist, following the presentation of the award. We ask that audience members remain in their seats and refrain from taking photographs during the event. Ryan and her team will upload her photos to a shared album following the event. Be sure to pick up a card from the tables out front with the album's web address. Once the ceremony concludes, we ask all recipients to stay behind for an additional group photo. And first up, Jody will share with us some instances of outstanding customer service.
Thank you, Marcus. First category is customer service. As representatives of state government, one of our foremost responsibilities is to serve the people of North Carolina. One of the most important ways we do this is providing excellent, responsive customer service. Each year, DPS recognizes employees who work positively, respectfully, and effectively with their peers and with the public. These employees stand as models of good customer service, and they set the standard we all hope to meet in our own roles. We are proud to recognize the following employees with the DPS Badge of Excellence in Customer Service. Every day, DPS works hand in hand with contractors to keep our facilities in top condition. Armin Armanakian is the subject matter expert who stands at the center of that process. Armin is responsible for contract administration and project design. He continuously strives to help his coworkers at Central Engineering achieve new efficiencies. This may mean keeping close watch on the ever-changing world of building codes, regulations, and policies, or it may mean streamlining the application of those requirements to support everyone in Central Engineering. Armin's efforts have reduced the administrative and logistical burdens that come with government construction. Of considerable note, his work with the Central Engineering Digital Library. Armin is the administrator of this central repository of tools, calculators, forms, training videos, work schedules, and policies. He has taken the library to the next level, focusing on user experience and building into it a well-rounded, versatile platform. Thank you, Armin, for all you do to make your division more effective. Armin, right here. It takes planning, coordination, and a strong team to execute a successful marketing campaign. The DPS Communications Office has cultivated the resources it needs to do just that. This award recognizes a team of 7 who ensured the success of a 2021 campaign promoting our Victim Services Office. Margaret Eckham, Matthew Jenkins, Dabney Weems, Kirsten Barber, Jeff Goldsmith, Debbie Riddle, and Kelly Higgins poured their creative talents into a campaign that promoted crime victims' compensation services, the Rape Victims Assistance Program, the North Carolina statewide Automated Victim Assistance Network, and victim services for prisons, probation, and parole. The work brought to light important services DPS provides to all North Carolinians. Thank you to these members of the communications team for spreading awareness of these services. Please come up. I'm a little partial. That's my team. I'm very proud of them. When disaster strikes, North Carolina governments and nonprofits sometimes need help to get back on their feet. As a grants manager with North Carolina Emergency Management's recovery section, Thomas Bennett is dedicated to making sure that happens. Working hand in hand with applicants, he helps make the sometimes complicated world of disaster recovery grants more accessible for the organizations he serves. With a disaster portfolio stretching back to Hurricane Matthew, he has shown time and again his willingness to face challenges alongside applicants, always seeking solutions rather than turning people away. Thomas currently manages 178 unique applications, 401 separate disaster accounts, and 1,395 projects totaling more than $325 million. He manages this all with a high level of professionalism, maintaining excellent working relationships with his clients. Thank you, Thomas, for the role you play in our state's disaster recovery. As a probation and parole officer in Perquimans County, Letitia Costin is a true asset in the workplace and to our community as a whole. Letitia is always one of the first to raise her hand to assist with additional duties in her office. That includes on-call shifts, extradition trips, and transports. She is always willing to go the extra mile to help offenders find the resources they need to be successful. Letitia is dedicated to customer service, and she is equally devoted to community service. From mentoring youth to volunteering with the Perquimans County Sheriff's Office and the Elizabeth City Police Department, she exemplifies service in the highest degree. Thank you, Letitia, for offering both excellent customer service and community service at the same time. Some of you may recognize our next recipient's voice. LMS and Beacon Security Administrator Mike DeLuca offer standout service for DPS employees who need help with these essential platforms. With each customer he serves, he shows himself to be cordial and willing to assist, even in circumstances that are beyond the scope of his responsibility. Mike has automated the Beacon security request process to ensure requesters know the status of their inquiries and the appropriate next steps for resolution. His diligence also shines through in his handling of LMS issues. He is always committed to troubleshooting problems in a timely manner. Mike also is an expert when it comes to project management using the Smartsheets platform. Across all of these platforms, Mike consistently shows both technical know-how and a deep passion for serving his fellow employees. Thank you, Mike, for helping us access the tools we need to be successful. In so many ways, COVID-19 changed our way of doing business, and this was especially true in our state's prisons. In the face of these challenging circumstances, Prison's Chief of Security, Wendy Hardy, and registered nurse, Wayne Stewart, rose to the occasion. Together, the two volunteered to serve as the lead team members for COVID-19 quality assurance throughout the prison system. Whenever a facility experienced an outbreak of COVID-19, the pair would perform an unannounced visit. They would observe the strategies in place to reduce risk of transmission and provide guidance of containment strategies. These two individuals repeatedly put themselves at risk of potentially contracting COVID-19 by entering a known hotspot in order to prevent infection within the prison population. Thank you, Wendy and Wayne, for selflessly putting yourselves at risk to help protect others. As a drug recognition expert with the State Highway Patrol, Sergeant Stephen Hurley has been an instrumental resource for prosecuting DWI cases in his district. This rare certification makes him a tremendous asset to the patrol, and his talents have also benefited neighboring agencies. Going beyond expectations and showing his commitment to the law enforcement community, Sergeant Hurley has been called several times while off duty and either responded in person or assisted the investigating officer by phone. In this way, Sergeant Hurley has provided outstanding service to the patrol, local departments, and to the citizens of North Carolina. Sergeant Hurley's DRE evaluations have been a valuable resource, and his willingness to assist on duty or off has met an essential need, strengthened relationships with allied agencies, and reflected favorably on the Highway Patrol and the Department of Public Safety. Thank you, Sergeant Hurley, for sharing your talents with the patrol and other agencies. Administrative Correctional Sergeant Robert Lee gives 100% to his facility and his coworkers. He follows policy while also making thoughtful decisions in terms of scheduling and coordination with other facilities, and he has a history of stepping up to the plate. When Sanford Correctional was tapped as the first North Carolina prison for ACA accreditation in 2020, Robert became the subject matter expert on surveillance equipment, tool storage, and collaboration with ACA liaisons. When the associate warden in his facility took a new position, Robert helped fill in the gap. He completed administrative tasks while continuing to exemplify all that a correctional staff member should strive to be. Thank you, Robert, for your service to Sanford Correctional. You are held in high regard by your colleagues. Our next recipient is not here, but I'm still going to read the write-up because I think it's important to recognize the work that she did. Some of the nominees in the customer service category have served their fellow employees. Others have served the general public. Juvenile court counselor Lisa Verghese serves those who need her help the most, justice-involved youth and their families. In every case that comes across her desk, Lisa treats everyone involved with respect and dignity. In all situations, she handles the simplest details and the toughest of questions with empathy. With a deep understanding of JJDP's referral methods, she always seeks to create the best outcomes for those she serves. She truly takes the time to listen to juveniles and their families and to create a plan that balances the needs of juveniles with her responsibility to the public. From home visits to meeting with clients in hospitals, she shows up for every juvenile on her caseload. Thank you, Lisa, for all that you do to support our youth. Let's give her a hand. And that concludes our awards for customer service. Let's have another round of applause for those recipients.
Thank you, Jody. Just a couple of additional announcements before we begin with the next category. Firstly, I failed to mention this in my previous announcement, but just to recognize her by name, please join me in thanking Ms. Shamika Edwards for singing our national anthem. And additionally, for award recipients, if any of your division heads or senior leadership are here, by all means, those members feel free to come down and join the recipient in their photo if you wish. And next, let's get on to the human relations category. Our next category is critical to the well-being of DPS, Its practitioners lift the mood in our break rooms and change the tenor of our conversations we have with each other and with the public. Recipients of the Badge of Excellence in Human Relations have made outstanding contributions toward enhancing the quality and morale of the workplace. Their work improves the public image of state government. It nurtures positive personal interactions and collaborations with other agencies. Let's meet the recipients of the Badge of Excellence in Human Relations. First, Ms. Carolyn Banks. Every once in a while, you come across a person who never stops giving. Carolyn Banks is one of these people. A behavioral specialist at Granville Correctional Institution, Carolyn consistently goes out of her way to encourage her coworkers to make them feel appreciated. As the chair of the facility's Employee Enhancement Club, she is constantly looking for ways to acknowledge the staff's work and thank them for what they do. She is the go-to person for any events occurring in the facility because she will make it happen. Carolyn has also sought to build ties between the prison and the local community. She started the Johnny Hawkins Reading Nook, an area where staff can volunteer to read stories that are recorded and distributed to local schools for story time. Her next goal is to partner with the town of Butner to establish a food pantry box to aid those in need. Thank you, Carolyn, for all that you do to brighten the lives of others. And next we have Alice Flake. Our next recipient, Alice Flake, plays a critical role in tending to the mental health needs of offenders in our prison population. As a correctional behavioral specialist at Eastern Correctional Institution, she excels in working with both offenders and her fellow staff members. At a facility where approximately 50% of offenders have a mental health need, Alice is diligent in managing her caseload, ensuring that offenders receive the services and medications that they need in a timely manner. According to her supervisor, Alice is able to establish and maintain appropriate rapport with offenders, set appropriate boundaries, and addresses problematic behavior in a professional manner. In all that she does, offenders appreciate her fair approach and her focus on their overall improvement as they go through the process of incarceration. Thank you, Alice, for your commitment to providing care for those who need it the most. Congratulations to this group of recipients. Let's give them another round of applause.
All right, we'll move on to the next category, innovation and efficiency. In today's rapidly changing world, innovation is critical to the success of any organization, which brings us to our next category, innovation and efficiency. Within the ranks of DPS, there are those who find new ways to tackle old problems. In doing so, they make our agency more effective in its mission. Awards for innovation and efficiency go to employees who significantly improve a work process or system, or who significantly increase the efficiency of an operation or unit. For their forward thinking, we salute this year's recipients of the DPS Badge of Excellence in Innovation and Efficiency. In recent years, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation has seen a massive increase in the number of cyber tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. While reviewing these tips, SBI criminal specialist Scott Bassett noticed a backlog of tips from a local agency within his area of responsibility. After working with other agents, analysts, and the agency to address that issue, CS Bassett formed a plan of action to ensure these tips were properly investigated in a timely manner. The result was Operation Matador, a collaboration between the SBI, FBI, Homeland Security, and law enforcement agencies in Durham County. The operation was a huge success, reaching a disposition of dozens of cases from NCMEC, which led to numerous arrests of subjects who possessed child sexual abuse material. Since, this model has been adopted by other members of the Computer Crimes Unit, guiding similar operations statewide. CS Bassett's dedication to the ICAC mission and his relentless efforts led him to solve problems in a new way and established a model that others have followed. Thank you, CS Bassett, for your tireless efforts to protect children. It's no understatement to say that Architect Supervisor Ray Clark has revolutionized the way that Central Engineering provides construction drawing service to DPS. By implementing cutting-edge computer-aided design technology, he has streamlined this process to a level that rivals companies in the private sector. Thanks to Ray's efforts, Central Engineering now has the ability to draw in 3 dimensions and create building information models. These models, in turn, allow the division to create more accurate budgets and material usage estimates for remodeling and new construction projects. In the long run, this technology has the potential to save state government millions by analyzing different methods of construction. Ray has also used GIS mapping data to implement location verification for all assets on Central Engineering site plans, showing where the division's assets are located in real time. Thank you, Ray, for applying the latest technology to make state government more effective. Every year, the DPS Communications Office receives thousands of public record requests, encompassing every division of the agency. Thanks to the efforts of Communications Specialist Matt Debnam, this process of tracking those requests has been modernized and streamlined. Matt built out a new submission form to intake public records requests and then used Power Automate to set up notifications and updates to the public records tracker in SharePoint. Matt then developed a Power BI dashboard that allows communications office staff and senior leadership to visualize this data in real time, from divisional breakdowns to metrics on the number of requests completed or that are currently in progress. This updated system has reduced manual data entry, it's streamlined the way the department handles public record requests, and helped visualize the communications office's workload. Thank you, Matt, for applying new solutions to improve efficiency. In July of 2021, Alcohol Law Enforcement Special Agent in Charge, Chess McQueen, saw the need for changes in ALE's Hickory District and subsequently spearheaded a restructuring effort to improve staffing, efficiency, and morale. This restructuring involved an enforcement team, an investigations team, and an agent who handles administrative inspections and educational programs. In the first month that this new structure was implemented, the 3-person enforcement team yielded 65 arrests and citations, with 132 criminal charges. The investigations team has also been extremely successful in the new district structure, with serving numerous warrants. By establishing this new structure, SAC McQueen played to the strengths of the agents under his command and placed them in assignments they enjoy. Since the restructuring, SACs from other districts have sought to emulate the success. Thank you, SAC McQueen, for finding innovative ways to enhance your district's performance. This concludes the innovation and efficiency portion of our program. Let's give those folks another round of applause.
Our next category is Outstanding Achievement in Government Service. In any organization, there are always those who go above and beyond the call of duty. Then there are those who make a career of going beyond. This year's recipients of the DPS Badge of Excellence in Outstanding Achievement have shown themselves to be true assets to their divisions, pushing excellence to new heights. DPS recognizes the following employees for consistently exceeding expectations and making significant contributions in areas that advance the mission of the agency. Paul Braze. How much energy does DPS consume on a daily basis? It's a question few of us probably consider, but for DPS Energy Manager Paul Braze, it's at the heart of all he does for the department. Paul was at the forefront of developing a plan to convert every light in the state's prison system to LED, saving on both time and staff labor. By the end of next year, every DPS-owned building is on track to be upgraded in this manner. The program gained amazing momentum and buy-in from facility personnel who saw the value of low-maintenance fixtures and not having to ask management for funding. His grassroots approach to maintenance built strong relationships that carry to this day, and other maintenance initiatives, such as efforts to conserve water and natural gas. All told, his supervisor estimates that Paul's work has saved the department nearly $6 million in energy costs over the course of 4 years, with every single penny being pushed right back into the facilities in the form of energy efficiency improvements. Thank you, Paul, for your efforts to conserve energy and departmental resources all at once. Jason Nicholson. Our next recipient, Captain Jason Nicholson, serves as the custody COVID-19 representative at Columbus Correctional Institution. It's a role he has held since April 2020, at the start of the pandemic. COVID-19 has transformed the way we manage our prisons, and that is especially true of dormitory-style facilities like Columbus Correctional. The prison once had 100 offenders living in open dorms, eating together in the chow hall, playing sports together, enjoying visits with family and friends. Overnight, Captain Nicholson and his team had to break the population down to small cohorts, drastically shorten yard time, stop contact visitations, and deliver meals to be eaten in the dormitories. It was a logistical pivot, and it had a dramatic impact on prisoners and staff. Captain Nicholson had no playbook to follow, but he immediately went to work implementing new policies. He could be found at the facility at all hours. He created flyers and informational videos for the prisoners, overhauled the television system to offer a new outlet for their energy, and installed hand sanitation stations. He implemented a contact tracing program and kept up with those who needed to go into quarantine and who was ready to come out. When exposure to new intakes became too much for the prisoners in the facility, he helped calm the unrest. Captain Nicholson, thank you for the challenges you accepted throughout the pandemic. Robert Robb. Our next recipient is a jack of all trades. Robert Robb, a maintenance mechanic at Black Mountain Substance Abuse Treatment Center for Women, was instrumental in opening that facility in 2010. In every task he is assigned, Robert completes his job duties without hesitation, acknowledging things must get done for continuation of a smooth operation of the facility. From general facility maintenance to landscaping and vehicle service, he is a master repairman and always goes the extra mile to repurpose items at the facility. In October 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Robert worked diligently to move the 60-bed unit to its new location, expanding bed space in the new facility to accommodate 96 people. From overseeing the move and installing furniture to painting the new facility, he was there to accommodate the process from beginning to end. All things considered, Robert is an exceptional mechanic, landscaper, purchaser, and an extraordinary thinker with a strong ability to solve problems. To his coworkers, he is also a friend and a true team player. Thank you, Robert, for the care you show in maintaining your facility. Tyler Stevens. Since 2019, Correctional Officer Tyler Stevens has proved himself to be an extraordinary asset for Catawba Correctional Center. Soon after joining the staff there, he was asked to take over the facility's canteen and clothes house, tasks he performed admirably. After demonstrating the highest degree of quality assurance in those areas, Tyler was then asked to take on maintenance of the facility's armory and key control systems, with an eye toward American Correctional Association accreditation. Through his work, Tyler completely revamped key control practices to include updated inventories and logs. He also streamlined the Armory's inventory control and procedures to the point that the outside auditors for the ACA merely needed one look to ensure compliance. Through Tyler's assistance and dedication, Catawba Correctional was able to surpass the audit requirement, receiving 99% and 100% scores. This made the facility the first in the Western region to achieve the gold standard of correctional accreditation, an achievement his supervisors credit to Tyler's dedication to thoroughness. Thank you, Tyler, for your diligence and commitment to your facility's safety and security. Please join me again in congratulating these recipients.
All right, our next category, public service and volunteerism. The value of public service stands as one of the strongest pillars of our department. In all that we do, in every job, it is our mission to serve the people of our state. Among our ranks, there are those who commit themselves to this mission, not only in their professional careers, but in their personal lives as well. The DPS Badge of Honor for Public Service is given to employees who have made outstanding contributions to our North Carolina communities. Probation and parole officer Leslie Clothier has 2 children, and she wanted to take them together to public playgrounds. She had one problem, though. The playgrounds near her home in Moore County were not designed to be accessible to children with disabilities. PPO Clothier's daughter, Ellie, was born prematurely and is a survivor with disabilities that include cerebral palsy and epilepsy. Ellie uses a wheelchair. Standard playground equipment offered nothing she could enjoy. Traditional mulch stopped her wheelchair in her tracks. Undeterred, PPO Clothier and her husband founded the Ellie Jean Project in 2017. They had a goal to transform every public playground in their county into a place where Ellie and children with disabilities can play alongside their friends and siblings. After 4 years of poker runs and hot dog sales and cookie deliveries, the Ellie Jean Project recently purchased the first accessible playground equipment that it will install in the area. Congratulations, PPO Clothier, on their successes. Our next recipient is Captain William Johnson from Alexander Correctional Center. Captain Johnson strives to be the best at whatever task or mission is placed before him. He has been a member of special teams for more than 13 years. The Army veteran is also an active member of the Prison Special Operations Response Team and an award-winning sniper. But today, we are recognizing something else. Captain Johnson also volunteers with Meals on Wheels, delivering food in his community. He jumped into frigid water as part of the Polar Plunge, a fundraising initiative for the Special Olympics. He has also coordinated bike rides and participated in awareness-building activities like Cop on Top to support the organization. Thank you, Captain Johnson, for the time you dedicate to the community. Chad Lackey has become a well-known face for juvenile justice in Caldwell County. He works as an intake court counselor, but he prefers to be out in the community, working to support juveniles and their families, rather than sitting behind his desk all day. You may, for example, have seen him educating the public about juvenile justice at National Night Out every year, or hand-delivering meals to families in need on Christmas Day. He may have been opening the door for the Kids at Work program that he helped start up in Caldwell County. You may have run into him volunteering over the holidays at the detention center in Cabarrus County, or raising money to purchase a skateboard for a juvenile in the community who said skating was the only activity that eased the depression he felt over his mother's struggle with cancer. This court counselor has touched a lot of lives and earned the respect of his colleagues and his community. Thank you, sir. Our next recipient is Chief Probation and Parole Officer David McCarthy. Chief McCarthy leads a specialized unit that works with offenders who have absconded or who pose a domestic violence risk. His leadership includes supporting the members of his team as they work difficult cases. He extends those same qualities of leadership and support to his work with the SHIELD team that provides peer support for DPS employees in crisis, and to his role on the pandemic response team, and to his membership on the Domestic Violence Fatality Review Committee in his county. And his public service doesn't end when he leaves his office or departs from a committee meeting. At home, Chief McCarthy and his wife have become foster parents, providing a safe and stable home for children in need. Chief McCarthy, we recognize your dedication to public service and thank you for your support also of our DPS family. In her daily duties as a probation and parole officer, Wendy Sellers is tasked with helping keep probationers and parolees on the right path. But her commitment to improving her community goes well beyond the confines of her career. From her service on the Thomasville City School Board to the Thomasville City Council, she has been an active member of the community. Wendy was critical in starting the organization Hugs Heal Thomasville, which works to help the homeless and less fortunate populations in Thomasville. She's also partnered with the Davidson County Transitional Services, where she volunteers with their Second Chance program that works with individuals re-entering the community from jail, prison, or unproductive lifestyles. She has also spent countless hours talking to at-risk youth about how bad decisions and committing criminal acts can impact the rest of their lives. In addition to all these acts of service, Wendy has also served on countless boards and commissions in her area, all with the end goal of making her community a better place. Thank you, Wendy, for your tireless efforts to improve the lives of others. Chief Probation and Parole Officer Kimberly Wright exemplifies what it means to give back to the community. She represents Franklin County on the Reentry Council, working diligently to help offenders who are transitioning back into society. Her efforts help reduce recidivism. Chief Wright also spearheaded a fundraising initiative called Friday Gene Day in her district. Designed at first to boost the morale of her own team, the initiative quickly grew to become a division-wide charitable giving program. The principle is simple. Officers who want to wear jeans on Fridays can choose to contribute a small monetary donation for the privilege. Friday Gene Day program has raised thousands of dollars. Funds have gone to organizations including the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and the Franklin County Adopt a Family program, as well as to the families of DPS members who have experienced tragedy. Chief Wright, thank you not only for your own service, but for the collective contributions you have inspired. All right, let's hear it for those recipients and their outstanding acts of public service.
And now for our final category, safety and heroism. Prevent, prepare, and protect. These are the guiding words for DPS as we work to make safer communities for all North Carolinians. The recipients of this year's Badge of Excellence in Safety and Heroism not only exemplify those values, they acted upon them, sometimes putting themselves in harm's way to protect the safety of others. Please join us in thanking these recipients for their outstanding judgment, courage, and meritorious action to prevent injury and loss of life. First up, Tyler Dellinger and Tom Glenn. Our next recipients, Tyler Dellinger and Tom Glenn, stepped outside of their roles as probation officers to save a shooting victim last January. Mitchell County Communications Center put out a call. A 2-year-old child had been shot in the left lower leg and needed emergency medical assistance. Dellinger and Glenn were the first to arrive on scene. They rendered critical aid that included application of a tourniquet. Paramedics arrived and transported the child via air ambulance to an awaiting surgeon. A follow-up with investigating authorities and emergency personnel confirmed that quick responses by these officers not only saved the young child's life, but also provided critical early first aid. These 2 probation officers had the training and the skills and willingness to assist a family in distress. Their quick actions earn our recognition today. Thank you both. Trooper Carmel Locklear, Trooper Matthew Urey, Trooper Jamie Wayne, who is not with us today. Our next recipients are recognized for life-saving teamwork carried out calmly and efficiently under the watchful gaze of a busload of school children. Troopers Carmel Locklear, Matthew Urey, and Jamie Wayne responded to a traffic crash that occurred in Pamlico County. An SUV collided with a bus and burrowed beneath it, lifting it and the children it carried up into the air. The children were not injured, but the driver of the SUV sat pinned in his vehicle. His arm had been partially severed. The troopers went to work. Wayne checked on the children. Urey and Locklear stayed with the 80-year-old driver. They gained access to his wound, applied pressure, kept him calm. They used their training to replace a faulty tourniquet initially applied by other motorists. When paramedics arrived and transported the driver to the hospital, doctors did not think he would survive, but he did. He credits the troopers with saving his arm and his life. Thank you all for your quick action and for the example you set for the children on that bus. Trooper Kevin Glenn, Trooper Brian Wyatt. Trooper Kevin Glenn and Brian Wyatt were assisting the Mitchell County Sheriff's Office with an active chase. The shift partners successfully deployed a tire deflation device, slowing the vehicle, but instead of stopping, the driver fired in the direction of the troopers. A bullet struck Trooper Glenn in the face. It entered his right cheek and exited behind his ear on the lower neck, only hitting tissue, not a bone. He sat down on the ground behind his patrol vehicle, staying calm and cracking jokes, seemingly unaware of the risk to his life. His partner sprang to action. Trooper Wyatt radioed for help and stayed by his shift partner's side until emergency personnel arrived on the scene and began to administer aid. Thank you, troopers. We're glad to have you both here with us today. And thank you for those life-saving efforts from your shift partner. Antoine Green. We all know employees of the Department of Public Safety make a commitment to ensure the safety of their communities every day. But Corrections Officer Antoine Green exceeded expectations when he made himself a diversion to stop a dog attack. Officer Green heard a neighbor screaming and saw the dog attack. He was able to distract the animal long enough for the victim to jump into a nearby boat. But then his knee popped. He dropped to the ground. As the dog now attacked his body, he could do nothing but wrestle it into a headlock. Once he got to the hospital, he learned that he had torn a tendon in his knee. He had bites on his arm and leg. He would need immediate surgery and would not be able to return to work for almost 2 months. Officer Green, thank you for your quick intervention and selfless service. We're glad to have you back on duty today. Len Hageman. We next recognize the safety and heroism of State Bureau of Investigation Special Agent Len Hageman. Special Agent Hageman investigates criminal cases in the northwestern region of the state. He is also a certified EMT. Those qualifications made him a real asset in April 2021, when he joined a team of agents responding to an officer-involved shooting in Watauga County. An armed suspect had barricaded himself inside a residence. A member of law enforcement, Sergeant Christopher Ward, had been wounded and was trapped inside the home with the suspect. Special Agent Hageman served as the medic on the rescue team. He entered the building as the suspect continued to fire his weapon. He risked his life to get inside and provide medical aid and eventual rescue to Sergeant Ward. Special Agent Hageman, thank you for the bravery you demonstrated that day. Trooper Christopher McIntosh. Trooper Christopher McIntosh was the first to arrive at the scene of a shooting in Harnett County in August 2021. He discovered a victim who had been shot in the right thigh and arm. The assailant had used a high-powered rifle. Trooper McIntosh is an EMT. He noticed active hemorrhaging and immediately applied tourniquets to the wounds. He called into the communications center to provide an update on the condition of the victim. He also was able to describe the perpetrator and the vehicle involved in the shooting. The victim, later identified as Chad Trammell, survived due to Trooper McIntosh's quick actions. His actions deserve our recognition today. Ashley Vogelsong. Never call PPO Ashley Vogelsong a couch potato. The parole and probation officer was at home relaxing on her sofa when she heard shots in her neighborhood. She immediately grabbed her gear and headed toward the shots. Down the street, Craven County deputies had come under fire while trying to serve involuntary commitment papers. Vogelsong arrived on the scene and saw one deputy on the ground. A neighbor was applying pressure to a bullet wound, and another neighbor steered a vehicle into the fray to make a rescue. Vogelsong helped load the wounded deputy into the car and then stayed on scene to monitor the safety of 4 other officers until backup could arrive. The wounded deputy underwent surgery and then was able to leave the hospital. Thank you, Ashley, for your willingness to place yourself in grave danger to assist law enforcement officers in a dangerous situation. please join me again to congratulate all of these recipients.
Well, folks, we've made it. Thank you all for being a fantastic audience. This concludes our 2022 Badge of Excellence Award program. We will have some refreshments in the atrium to celebrate our recipients. And if you've received an award, please remember to stay behind for the group photo. We would like to invite you all to stand as we express our thanks to these distinguished men and women who we've recognized here today. These folks are the heart of DPS. Have a great afternoon, and thank you for coming.